We all know that there are two types of interventions for tobacco usage, that is behavioral as well as the pharmacological interventions. And 5 A's of tobacco cessation is used to help patients who are ready to quit the habit. 5 A's are ask, advise, assess, assist and arrange. So we'll see about ask. We should always make sure that we are asking the patient's tobacco history at each and every visit. Whenever possible, we should make sure to ask open-ended questions like, have you ever smoked? How often do you smoke? When is the last time you smoked? How many cigarettes do you smoke yesterday or last week or last month? Why do you think it would be a good idea to quit the tobacco habit? And if he is a smokeless tobacco user, we should ask whether he is using dip or snuff. We should make it a part of our routine. Like if we see here, the dentist is asking, do you use tobacco? The patient is answering no. So immediately the dentist is telling you have got tobacco stains on your teeth and also have periodontal disease. No other way, the patient has to accept this habit. So the patient is telling, yes sir, I actually use tobacco but I will quit. Just by looking into the oral cavity, the dentist will know whether he is a tobacco user or not. Going to the second A, that is advice. Our advice should be clear, strong, and it should be in a personalized language. We should tell the tobacco users to quit the habit and by telling that cutting down will not be enough. Quitting is the single most important thing you can do to protect your health as well as your family's health. We can advise him about the effects of secondhand smoke to his family and also suggesting that not only for them, even for himself, smokers who quit save huge amount of money. And the dentist is telling use of tobacco leads to many diseases. Why don't you quit? The dentist is advising in such a way. So immediately after quitting, the tobacco users will have so many benefits. That is, immediately after 20 minutes, the heart rate and blood pressure will get down. After 12 hours, almost all of the nicotine is out of the bloodstream, and after 24 hours, the carbon monoxide has reduced considerably. Within a few days, sense of smell and taste will get improved. Within 2 months, lung function improves and respiratory symptoms will get reduced. Within 6 months, the immune system improves greatly, and in 12 months, the risk of a heart attack will get halved. After 10 years, the risk of lung cancer is reduced. So we can also advise him by calculating the cost. So how much amount of cigarette he is smoking, for how many years, and price of the cigarette packet. Meanwhile, say just like this, we can also calculate for the smokeless tobacco use. So this is just an example. If he is having habit of smoking 2 cigarettes per day and the cost of per cigarette is 15 rupees, we can calculate per month, per year as well as the lifetime expenditure. If he could have saved that amount, he could have spent that money on buying essential items or child's education. Specific advice like start strategy, that is set a quit date and stay away from smokers or tobacco users. Tell their family members as well as the friends, co-workers about their plan to quit the tobacco usage. Anticipate and planning for challenges, that these may be the short-term challenges like triggerings and withdrawal symptoms, and even long-term challenges like stressful situations and feeling down. Removing all tobacco products and related items like ashtrays, cigarettes from their home and workplace. Talking to health professionals about getting help to quit, including practical counseling and pharmacotherapy. And the third one is assess. It is mandatory to assess the level of dependence. So we have so many scales, that is to assess that level of dependence as well as the readiness to quit. We should ask every patient whether he is willing to quit at this time. If he is willing to quit, we should offer praise and provide resources and assistance. If he is not willing to quit, then we should help him to get motivated. We have to switch to the 5 R's, that is relevance, risk, rewards, roadblocks and repetition. We have so many scales and the most commonly used scale is the Fagerstrom. We have Fagerstrom scale for smoking as well as the smokeless tobacco users. And for smoking tobacco users, we have questions like how soon after you wake up do you smoke your first cigarette? Do you find it difficult to refrain from smoking in places where it is forbidden? And which cigarette would you hate most to give up? How many cigarettes do you smoke each day? Do you smoke more frequently during the first hours after waking than during the rest of the day? Do you smoke if you are ill? So based on these questions, we can assess his score whether he's coming under very high dependence or high dependence, medium dependence or very low dependence. We can give interventions based on the level of dependence. We have Fegestrom scale even for the smokeless tobacco users. And the questions are how soon after you wake up do you place your first dip? How often do you intentionally swallow tobacco juice? Which chew would you hate to give up most? How many cans or pouches do you chew per week? Do you chew more frequently during first hour after awakening than during rest of the day? Do you chew if you are so ill that you are in bed most of the day? So based on this, we can categorize him whether he is coming under very high dependence or high dependence, medium dependence or very low dependence. Apart from Fegestrom scale, we also have readiness ruler, that is my readiness to quit scale. So based on these questions, we can categorize whether the tobacco user is coming under low readiness category or moderate or high readiness category. We also have confidence ruler, like how confident are you that if you wanted to change your smoking habit, so we can categorize from 0 to 10. We can assess the decisional flow if the patient is current tobacco user and if he is willing to quit, then we can go to the step 4 of 5A approach, that is assist. If he is not willing to quit, then we have to provide motivational materials and counseling. If the patient is not a current tobacco user and he had an habit of using tobacco before few years or few months, then we have to go to the step 4 of 5A, that is assist. So the fourth A is assist. We have to assist our patients with the quit plan. We should always give advice on successful quitting and we should assist him by telling that it is always better to avoid alcohol also, since smoking is strongly associated with alcohol and it might even lead to relapse. And we can tell him that I suggest you ask others also not to smoke in the house because it might even hinder your success. We can assist our patients by giving the education materials and also the toll-free numbers, support group areas that are available, and we can also assist our patient by setting quit date together, that is ideally 2 weeks, and together we will set a date that will be scheduled as your last day of smoking. How about next Monday? Like these questions we can ask. When do you think would be a good time for you to quit? Have the patient arrange support from family, friends and co-workers. Do you have friends or family you can call if you get an urge? We can share the quitline numbers and we can tell him about the handling substitutes like balls or pens or pencils he can keep in his hand just to engage instead of smoking, instead of cigarettes, and oral substitutes like fiber rich food like fruits or vegetables, even low calorie foods. We should ask him to change his routine. Like most patients, they might have the habit of taking cigarettes along with coffee, so we should ask him to switch to tea instead of coffee, and they might even have the habit of smoking along with the breakfast, so we should tell him to eat breakfast in a different place. And most of these people might buy from the same place, maybe during when they are going to their work, so we can advise them like take different route to work instead of going in that particular way where the shop is present. We can tell them to take a different route. We should also try to create aversion towards the tobacco products by smelling ashtray or smell or touch a jar of used cigarettes when they are feeling urged to. The tobacco users may face the withdrawal symptom when they are trying to quit the habit, like constipation, stomachache. We can tell them to cope by adding fiber to drink, as well as by drinking plenty of fluids. Cough, dry throat, nasal drip, difficulty in concentration, fatigue, insomnia, hunger, cravings for tobacco. These are some of the withdrawal symptoms. And we also have 5Ds, that is delay, drink water, deep breathing, distract and discuss. Whenever they have the urge to smoke, we should ask them to delay, so it will pass in a few minutes. And by drinking water, that is sip the water slowly and hold it on your mouth a while. By deep breathe, so that they can repeat for 5 times. Distracting by talking to their friends and focusing on some other work. Also discuss, that is discussing with their family, friends and then we should also arrange the follow-up, that is first follow-up after a week and second follow-up within 1 month after the quit date. And we can use practical methods such as telephone, personal visit or through mail. Following up with patients is recommended to be done through teamwork, because teamwork will always give better success rate. For all the patients, we have to identify problems that they had already encountered and anticipate the challenges. We have to remind patients of available extra treatment and assess medication use if they are under medication, that is pharmacotherapy, whether they have any side effects or problems. We can schedule the follow-up, that is next follow-up. For patients who are abstinent, we have to congratulate them on their success. And if they have habit of using tobacco again, we have to remind them to view relapse as their learning experience. Then if they need any support, we can refer them to the specialist. So this is the algorithm for delivering brief tobacco interventions. That is, first we have to ask the patient whether he is a tobacco user, and if he is telling yes, we have to advise him in a clear, strong and personalized manner. And then we have to assess his dependency level. If he is ready to quit, we have to assist and arrange. If he is not ready to quit, we have to motivate, so that we have to switch to the 5 R's. If the person is not a tobacco user, we have to ask whether anywhere else around him is having the habit. If he is telling yes, we have to help avoid exposure to the second-hand smoke. If he is telling no, we have to encourage continued abstinence. So this is about the 5 A's in tobacco cessation, that is ask, advise, assess, assist and arrange.